Elite Facts presents
13 of the most mysterious urban legends.
13.
Polybius. Originating in 1980s Oregon, the computer game Polybius is rumored to have been delivered to Portland's arcades by a group of strange men who were said to be wearing black clothes. People who used the game said that it had some weird effects on them, including nightmares and memory loss, among other complaints. Those who did play the game weren't able to do so for long. It only lasted for around a month, after which time the game disappeared, along with the makers. Perhaps it was all just a dream.
12.
The kidney heist. This story made the news in 1997 when an email circular was sent around advising people to beware when traveling in a particular country's cities. It claimed that people were waking up in bathtubs filled with ice cubes after being bought a drink by a stranger in a bar. The victims were left a note and a phone with the advice that they should call emergency services for help. That's when the victim would notice the blood and discover that their kidney had been surgically stolen by people planning to make money from selling the organ. Although vile, this doesn't sound too far-fetched really, but when the National Kidney Foundation appealed for people affected to get in touch, no one did. It seems as though the warning was, in fact, a scam, albeit a well-thought-out and believable one.
11.
The killer in the back seat. This story appears to get recycled every now and again. It begins with a lady traveling alone, driving down a country road in the dark. She sees a car in her rearview mirror flashing its lights at her. The car stays close behind, even when she turns off towards her house. Terrified, she jumps out of her car, planning to run into her house. But the other driver has pulled up behind her and is yelling for her to lock the car doors and go inside and phone the police. The lady then discovers that the stranger who had been following her had seen a figure in the back seat of her car and was trying to warn her. The figure had a knife at the ready. Spooky stuff.
10.
Humans can lick too. This tale is pretty creepy. It's all about a little girl whose parents are going away, and so they buy her a dog so she won't be lonely while they're gone. In the night, the girl hears a dripping noise, so she gets up to make sure the water taps are turned off. She goes back to bed and readies herself for sleep. Her hand dangles over the side of the bed, and her doggy friend licks it reassuringly. But the dripping noise is still there, so the girl gets up and checks the taps again, then gets back in bed and the doggy gives her a lick. This continues a couple of more times until she's had enough and goes to look for the exact source of the dripping. She's surprised that it seems to come from her closet, which she opens, only to discover her dog, which has had its throat slit. With the gruesome body is a note informing the girl that humans can lick too. This one really makes our skin crawl.
9.
The Green Man. Also known as Charlie No-Face, the Green Man is well known for walking the country lanes in Pennsylvania at nighttime. He glows an eerie green color and is thought to be a demon or other type of supernatural being. This ghost story is actually inspired by real life. Raymond Robinson had an electrical accident when he was a kid, losing both his eyes, his nose, an arm, and an ear. Because his skin was so damaged, he looked as though he glowed green. He was shunned by the people of the town, so he took to walking the lanes by himself at night. If he went out during the day, people panicked because of his appearance.
8.
The Collector. There are a number of versions of this story, but the most common one tells of a neighbor who stores human body parts in mason jars. The tale was given extra credence in Russia when it actually came true. Historian Anatoly Moskvin dug up around 30 bodies from graveyards, which he then turned into dolls with no faces wearing blonde wigs. Creepy stuff. Let's hope your neighbors aren't collectors.
7.
The Choking Doberman. In this tale, a lady arrives home only to discover her pet Doberman in trouble. It appears as though the dog is choking, so she rushes him to the vet, who admits the dog and sends the owner home to wait for his call. The vet performs a thorough examination and finds that the dog has been choking on 3 human fingers. The vet phones the owner to warn her that there's an intruder in her house. She phones the police, who come round to investigate. When they search the house, they discover a mutilated burglar in the closet, having apparently been attacked and killed by the woman's pet.
6.
The Beast of Dartmoor. This tale is really quite common, as are sightings of the so-called Beast of Dartmoor. They are a superstitious people in this area of the woods, believing that house pixies exist and that the moors are haunted by a headless horseman. This urban myth begins with the devil sending a pack of hunting dogs to Dartmoor, tasked with dragging the squire to hell. The tale has evolved to include what people describe as a big cat that comes and goes mysteriously. There are also reports of red eyes glowing in the dark and terrifying howls echoing in the night. There is video evidence of Dartmoor's big cat, in which a big black lion-like animal is shown running across a field.
5,
Bigfoot. Finally, we get to the most famous myth, known by a number of different titles, including Bigfoot, the Yeti, Sasquatch, and Skunk Ape. This creature is described in the same way no matter where it's seen or what it's called. It's said to walk on 2 feet like a human and have the appearance of an ape with thick hair covering its body and a nasty smell permeating it. Native American records show evidence that they were believers in Bigfoot. One of the most well-known pieces of evidence is the video footage taken by Roger Patterson and Robert Gimlin in 1967. Their film shows Bigfoot walking across the path they were taking. They have 20 seconds worth of images in which Bigfoot seems to look straight into the camera. Roger Patterson insisted that the video was authentic throughout his life.
4,
Crybaby Bridge. This ghost tale includes a bridge and a crying baby. The story goes that a young family are driving across a bridge in heavy rain when their car breaks down. The husband goes for help, leaving his wife and their baby in the car. The wife ends up getting out of the car, and when she comes back, she discovers that the baby has been carried away by a flash flood. It's reported that the baby's cries can be heard to this day. There are similar stories in circulation, one of which centers on a satanic cult in Maryland that throws small children from bridges. Another tells of a young mother from Utah who drives a car containing her kids off the bridge in desperation.
3,
The Jersey Devil. The Jersey Devil is a legendary creature or cryptid said to inhabit the pine barrens of southern New Jersey in the United States. The creature is often described as a flying biped with hooves, but there are many different variations. The common description is that of a kangaroo-like creature with the head of a goat, leathery bat-like wings, horns, small arms with clawed hands, cloven hooves, and a forked tail. It has been reported to move quickly and is often described as emitting a blood-curdling scream. As far as the origin of this creature, it's said that in the year 1735, Mother Leeds had 12 children, and after finding out that she was pregnant for the 13th time, stated that this one would be the devil. She went into labor on a stormy night while her friends gathered around her. Oh, and by the way, Mother Leeds was supposedly a witch, and the child's father was supposedly the devil himself. Born as a normal child, it quickly changed to a creature with hooves, a goat's head, bat wings, and a forked tail, like we mentioned. Growling and screaming, it killed the midwife before flying up the chimney, circling the villages and heading towards the pines. In 1740, a clergyman exorcised the demon for 100 years, and it was not seen again until 1890. This urban legend is so iconic to the state of New Jersey that they ended up naming their National Hockey League team the Jersey Devils.
2,
The Wendigo. This horrifying demonic hybrid half-beast creature is cannibalistic and has been haunting the Algonquin peoples along the Atlantic coast for a very long time. Legend has it that humans have the ability to turn into the Wendigo if they ever resort to cannibalism or become possessed by the demonic spirit of it. Wendigos are typically portrayed as giants about 3 times larger than humans, who are starving and ravenously hungry and always on the hunt for new victims. The legend lends its name to the disputed modern medical term Wendigo psychosis, which is considered by psychiatrists to be a form of culture-bound syndrome, with symptoms such as an intense craving for human flesh and a fear of becoming a cannibal. The legend stems from Algonquin folklore passed down thousands of years ago along the Atlantic coast and Great Lakes region of both the United States and Canada.
1,
The Loch Ness Monster. There's no way we could have a list about urban legends without Nessie. The Loch Ness Monster is an aquatic creature that reportedly inhabits Loch Ness in the Scottish Highlands. It is similar to other supposed lake monsters in Scotland and elsewhere, and is often described as being large in size with a long neck and one or more humps protruding from the water as it swims along. Popular interest and belief in the creature has varied since it was first brought to worldwide attention in 1933. Evidence of its existence is anecdotal, with a few disputed photographs and sonar readings. Nessie is known all over the world, and the Loch Ness Monster is a cultural icon for Scotland, just like the lesser-known Jersey Devil is for New Jersey. Whether or not the Loch Ness Monster is real or not is still debated to this day, and considering how long this legend has been around, and despite all the years of research that have been conducted, we may never truly know.
Don't forget to like us and subscribe for more elite facts.